Hello and welcome to Supreme Commander Forge Alliance action. This is a classic 3599. I think that's the 99's version. This is on pizza. It's usually a 3v3 or a FFA map. This one's a 1v1. We got the Black Judge playing a Seraphim, taking on Lucian playing UEF. So this is 6 identical bases, a whole bunch of rocks to reclaim, and then there's this area behind basically the crust of the pizza. There are mountains, so you can't really go up there. You can go up there if you drop. You can shoot missiles from there if you want. I definitely gotta speed this up. Pretty large map. You can see first ground and a whole bunch of power for Lucian plus second air. And just gonna get some mass from patrolling. You see first land, second air. So very similar builds for these two players. Just spreading out all over the pizza. There's an ocean in the middle. If you can, especially the UEF here. Actually, both UEF and Seraphim here have good cruisers. They can shoot missiles. They can hit most of the pizza slice. Lucian at 5 pigeons, nearly completed 5. It looks like Black Judge is slightly ahead because he's using an NG plus an ACU to build, not getting his air factory. It's a little more reclaiming for Lucian versus Black Judge, who just used all these NGs to either get mass extractors or get his factories. So I imagine this game will be a little slow at first. We'll have the players dropping over the other slices. Probably see some PD action with NG drops. I hope we finally see a transport here from Black Judge. Looks like an NG transport. He's gonna try to take. He's actually gonna drop a few things. Yeah, this for the near slice is just gonna be an NG walking across water, and then you can see an interceptor from. And here's a transport from Lucian as well. So they're going in opposite direction. There's an interceptor coming to Lucian's base. That would have been really bad for Lucian if the transport was still there. See some bombers coming out for Lucian as well, and an NG here on the ground. So on this slice we're going to see 2 different players. See Lucian here with a bomber looking for any drops. Successfully drops the slice that's next to Black Judge base. So a very even situation going on here. However, it looks like, at least for the time being, air is going to belong to Black Judge, and we see a deck 1 onto air being built directly in Lucian's base. And now we're going to see perhaps the first confrontation here. We see a mech marine on the ground. We see a successful factory on the slice, and now Black Judge is coming in. Actually, he's going to completely bypass. He's going to drop on the slice right next to Lucian. And this could be bad if Lucian loses this slice. He is in danger of losing all 5, because this one here is going to be separated by 2 others. You also see some T2 mass extractors from Lucian now, and yet another air factory. So first land and 2 air for Lucian. You can see it's mostly just power and actually upgrading some mass extractors. We might see a confrontation here. Now 3rd land factory for Black Judge. Only 1 land factory for Lucian. Needs to get more if he wants to compete there. And we see factories from both players in this slice as well. There's quite a bit of action early on, but it's blue right all over the place. There are some rocks here to reclaim. Sometimes people forget them. Actually, there's a whole bunch of them all over the slices. And this air still belongs to Black Judge, it seems. Yeah, and the fight over this slice, 2 land factories versus not coming up to. Nope, it's just going to be 2 land factories. It'll be very even. And the main slice, no, actually T2 factory from Lucian. In an air fight, looks like Lucian's actually going to win this one. T2 engineers get some T2 power. See if see any T2 here. Also T2 air factory for blackjudge. So these two players playing extremely similarly. And actually, the only player who has one completely defended base is blackjudge here with the one expansion. His main base and the expansion. All the other slices are being contested by both players. I've seen first Navy here from Lucian. Actually, it looks like Lucian will have success here, taking out now getting 2 land factories, a lot of NGs here, and killing off some NGs from blackjudge, and gonna take out the last factory. So it looks like it's success. It's also getting pretty good for Lucian on this other slice. 3 land factories now going up against 2. And it's very similar numbers for now. Looks like once again air is going to belong to blackjudge over Lucian's base, and there is T2 flag coming up now, so no reason to fly here if you're blackjudge. Now it's no more production of any kind here for blackjudge. This is going to be very even here. Actually, it seems like blackjudge might take this one. That's a whole bunch of units if they would start moving. However, I do see some T2 that not clear where this T2 are. It's amphibious. This came across water. We do see a whole bunch of T2 actually. These are very good units. The Riptides from Lucian. We are seeing T2 bombers actually taking out Lucian's T2 power. Excellent bombers from blackjudge. We'll see how effective these Riptides are. You can see a Tech 2 land factory here from Lucian right in the middle of the map, so you can send these Riptides anywhere he wants. And they're going actually on mainland here for blackjudge. He's got a PD, but it probably won't be enough. PD plus radar, so these are going to be seen. We also see a Yoshua here, so we're going to see a Yoshua versus Riptides. Actually multiple Yoshuas now. And you can see Yoshua's very good units. It's 3v2, will be very close. And yet another one. These Riptides are going to get killed by very good placement of T2 from blackjudge. Actually, this fight surprisingly is still going on. And here you can see the NG's taking advantage, taking quite a bit of mass extractors for Lucian. And this fight, you can see here it's on a basically the upper land is taken by blackjudge, but all around is Lucian. It's going to be fighting through this choke point. And more Riptides. So if Riptides don't go on mainland, the Yoshuas can't get across, maybe with transports. These Riptides can do a lot of damage to this island. And actually some drops. There's a lot of spare units here for Lucian. We are seeing T3 air now for blackjudge. He's making ASF. They're flying directly. Actually a strat bomber coming in now from blackjudge, and that could be pretty bad for Lucian. That just hits the shield. It takes a few hits on the shield in order to break it. We do see a cruiser here as well. That would be nice if it was a little closer. Yeah, this shield is definitely doing its job. It looks like a drop is coming up for a Yoshua drop for blackjudge. Looks like one more hit. Oh, actually no, this shield is recovering faster than that bomber can do. There's another bomber here. Actually, the bombers from blackjudge are not very effective. Now here comes a drop. This drop might be doomed with this cruiser. That was just barely. That transport dropped off these Yoshuas and died. This is going to be very good force. 7 Yoshuas is going to be devastating. They should have stayed and killed off that T2 factory. This cruiser was 6 kills. Some tough fighting here. We see Yoshuas here as well. Looks like a Tech 2 land factory from blackjudge. These Yoshuas getting pretty close to Lucian's main base. Probably want to stay away from Lucian's ACE's got the gun now. Now we're seeing Strat bombers versus Tech 1 land factories, and these Strat bombers still very not impressive. Now some torpedo bombers from blackjudge. Here try to take out that cruiser. Now we are seeing how this map is subdivided along this line. One advantage is for Lucian, he does have navy, but air definitely belongs to blackjudge. Here comes some SF after the Strat bomber. That's going to be another Strat bomber thrown away by blackjudge. Cruiser versus torpedo bombers. Torpedo bombers won. Probably want to come back, get some shields. And quite even still. Seeing a whole bunch of T2 power for blackjudge. He's spamming T3 air. He's got a T3 engineer working on T2 power. Whole bunch of T2 mask extractors. Yoshivas, and now it looks like his torpedo bombers are going to go after this cruiser. And very effective. Pretty big loss for Lucian. This is Tech 2 still making Yoshivas for blackjudge. If he builds up a big force of Yoshivas and has air control, he can drop those off. We are seeing some Riptides, a group of 6 making their way across. There's still a whole bunch of rocks for these players. We're going to see Riptides versus Tech 1 and some Yoshivas, and those Yoshivas are definitely going to provide enough firepower to stop these Riptides. They should retreat. And this is big trouble, this floating artery against T2 Naval factory. Another big loss for Lucian. So far, yet another bad thing, a Yoshiva drop from blackjudge. And we can see these guerrilla warfare, Riptides versus Yoshivas on all islands. Except these two have been very secure, especially this has been a very secure island for blackjudge. No more navy for Lucian, and at his main base he's making ASF. Got some T3 power. Actually, looking at this, a lot more power for Lucian with that T3 power. Still only T2 from blackjudge. And now finally a T3 generator in the works for blackjudge. There's a whole bunch of units just waiting for a transport. Here comes the ASF. Here comes the transport. That's a nice cover. Looks like it's just going to be a drop of Tech 1 behind the base. These they really want to stay together. One of these Riptides can do a lot of damage to this force. Now they're going to go after some T2 mask extractors. It looks like this island is in quite a bit of trouble for Lucian. The tanks are rolling through. Already got one T2 mask extractor. Going to get a T2 engineer, perhaps another T2 mask extractor. It's a great drop from black. We might see some Riptides versus tank action on this island. And here come the Riptides. Yeah, definitely these tanks got slaughtered, but got two T2 mask extractors. Successful drop. An attempt to rebuild a navy for Lucian. It's going to be taken out by those Arty. These Riptides completely fooled these tanks. Just got around them. Now going to start killing. Not too many good targets here. A couple of factories, a few Tech 1 mask extractors. Anything that's important here, the NGs are being protected by point defenses. So good work here from blackjudge. And a drop now from blackjudge with NGs. He's now going to take 4 bases. Start getting those mask extractors. Also we see T2 gunships as well as ASF. This is going to be a slaughter. T2 gunships versus Riptides. They can't fire back. Can't do anything. They'll just die. And this base here for actually now we're gonna see some ASF come in, try to help out the Riptides, but that ASF is all gonna get killed. It successfully kills the 4 gunships. Surprisingly, this is still alive, and now a destroyer, actually a cruiser. These must be just outside the visual range. Yeah, Sev spam, and actually this could be a pretty bad fight for blackjudge. He's fighting over Lushan's base and over Tech 3 anti-air, which already with 5 kills, another one with 11. Did a lot of damage. It looks like, at least locally, Lushan has 1 air, so much more even air now. We got more Riptides coming in directly into blackjudge's base. Gonna get some T2 mass extractors. And here's the final units ready to die. It's going to be a big loss of T2 land factory. You can see the Yoshimas here dominating T2 versus T2. And a drop coming in for Lushan gets taken out. A blackjudge and a whole bunch of transports now. 3 transports, looks like full of Yoshivas. Curious where blackjudge is taking these. Perhaps taking them all the way around to drop this island. Doesn't want to go behind here. It's probably a Tech 3 radar for Lushan somewhere. Should cover a very large area. Here the Riptide still battling with all these Tech 1 tanks. But this is just way too many numbers for blackjudge. And it's a fresh Tech 2 Navy, and this time they're bringing a shield. And they have air support. So this Navy is going to be much more powerful. Absolutely no Navy for blackjudge here at minute 30. And here come the drops. Oh yeah, there's 3 there, full of Yoshivas. Blackjudge sends in the air first. Now these units, it's probably definitely enough to kill off any forces that Lushan has on this island. Absolutely no response from Lushan. You can see that's a whole bunch of Yoshivas. And these are going to slaughter things. So far this game has been decided by this 1 unit and this transport. And you can see how brutal it is. And Lushan's going to be down to a single island, however he does have Navy. So an island plus all the water versus 5 islands. There's a good Riptide here from 11 kill Riptide from Lushan. And the Navy from Lushan actually getting close to blackjudge's main base. Of course, plenty of shields here to protect against missiles. But any of these spread out mass extractors are in danger. And more cruisers for Lushan. And you can see how quickly these Yoshivas have taken care of this island. And it looks like they're in 2 groups. They can cover more area, and some Riptides coming into the land. Probably not enough units, however. Now here come the NGs. They're going to take advantage of all this free mass extractors. And elsewhere we did just see an attempt to kill this Navy with some torpedo bombers, but they got taken out by the ASF. 26 kills on the first cruiser here, 1 on the second. These Riptides are going to try to do something about the situation. I killed 2 Yoshivas here, but still numbers for blackjudge. We see a fatty being constructed by Lushan. It's got 2 T2 power, still no nukes. We got here blackjudge, multiple T2 power as well. Make it scout, transports, and ASF. Actually, these are great Riptides coming in trying to kill the NG so they can't reclaim or take the mass extractors, but it looks like these Yoshivas will be successful at protecting. And here come the SF. Maybe they spotted that transport. Looks like it's an NG transport, a whole bunch of Tech 2 and Tech 1 NGs. Actually, these looks like these ASF missed. They're probably going to build a naval factory. And a chicken being constructed now for blackjudge.
See quite a few T2 massive structures here from Judge. Not too many on the other islands. These ones are pretty fresh. And it looks like, yes, it was an attempt to make a naval factory. And actually Judge grabbed those NGs and took them away before Lushan's navy got there. Now we are seeing some Tech 1 attacking here at minute 40. Whole bunch of floating arty from Judge. Not clear where it's going. Pretty good defense here at mainland with shields and Riptides, NGs. And a drop now with full of Yoshivas and tanks from Judge now going on the mainland, and we do see a fatty constructed by Lushan. Looks like it's going to go over to the top island, and here come the arty. But really, these Riptides are perfect unit versus the arty. They're very quick, very fast fire rate. That was an unfair fight. Looks like this NG is going to get killed eventually. And these are Tech 3 mask structures, will be a great target if these can get to shoot long enough. We can see now Lushan using the drones, kennels, for a lot of build capacity. Actually, this navy here, 5 kills, 35, has been pretty brutal for Lushan. We see a lot of dead mask structures all over the place, and the chicken is nearly done for blackjudge. Now this fatty is going to attempt to retake this island. More cruisers coming out for Lushan, and now we're seeing T3 gunships, the broadswords, and these are just devastating against Tech 2. Actually devastating against anything. Doesn't look like any more air support here behind Lushan's base. And this fatty might get himself into trouble. He's got to run. A lot of Yoshivas coming its way, but looks like it's not going to be enough. Not too much problem already. 35 kills. Riptide's coming just in case. It looks like Lushan is on his way back in this game. These gunships are gonna try to kill the right island. Fatty is gonna capture the left island, and in the middle we got a navy. Not too much going on this. Actually, a few T2 mask structures for Judge, and we do see this chicken now. This is actually a pretty big problem for Lushan, especially if looks like plenty of air for Judge to go against any air counter to this chicken. We do see finally a navy from Judge, and he's got 2 destroyers from Seraphim, which he just put underwater, so they're basically very good submarines. One interesting thing about Lushan's fleet, he's got cruisers and shields, frigates, absolutely nothing with torpedo capability. So anything that's underwater is completely safe from this navy. We should see some destroyers, just finally destroyers from Lushan. You can see these broadswords, extremely good gunships, 19 kills, 3 kills, just wiping things out. This navy actually being pushed back quite well by these destroyers. The chicken looks like it's not going to be aggressive, which is a little bit surprising. Looks like some Perseus. I wonder where these came from. Yeah, some Perseus here at mainland. Looks like they're being loaded up in some transports. See a T2 transport. That was a Percy drop that we missed. Looks like blackjudge is losing all islands very quickly. This one was to a fatty, Percy, and this one's to gunships. This one will probably be lost to gunships shortly. A complete turnaround here. We see these underwater destroyers killing off the cruisers, and this navy actually fell very quickly, like getting some help from air. See a whole bunch of torpedo bombers plus some gunships, and a cruiser now coming in for blackjudge. And the fatty's making its way all the way around the map. This is the naval construction. See about 8 NGs on the navy. A lot more NGs for Lushan. Surprisingly, this is a force here ready to attack. A whole bunch of Yoshivas
and transports. Perhaps there are no good targets of attack for a black judge. Here we have the ASF fight. Doesn't look like there's too much micro, just patrolling. And it's whoever has the more numbers, and it's very, very close here. It actually looks like black judge might have it. But that was a strange move that he just did there. But he still might have it. And more ASF just sitting here for Lucian. These will totally make the difference. Unless there's some sitting here for a black judge. Yeah, now Lucian is going to win the air fight. The Perseus are marching on together with the Riptides, as well as a cruiser, some destroyers. At the main base here we see an anti-nuke for Lucian, another fatty being constructed, more build capacity. For black judge, actually a nuke. Completely missed this nearly finished nuke. And this nuke is going to be too fast for this anti-nuke. This anti-nuke is not loaded. So this game is going to be turned on its head in about a minute of game time. So very soon, when this base right here gets removed from gameplay, so Lucian's got to be thinking about making power somewhere. Maybe this is why he moved over a base. So he's got a T3 power right here, and you cannot kill all these T3 power with one nuke. So you won't be completely out of the game. And here comes the nuke. That's going to be pretty devastating. Of course, while that nuke is firing, we see a fatty here making pretty good progress, and here comes the nuke. It's going to be pretty bad. So you can see all those powers, basically everything on that mountain got wiped out, but this right here, T3 powers, it's going to be very big for Lucian. Now let's see the defense versus the Perseus. It's chicken. So really the main base here for black judge is very secure with that experimental. The air fight, once again pretty even numbers, but fighting over cruisers for Lucian. Could be an advantage for Lucian here. These gunships now 23 kills, 20 kills. Got in the middle of a wrong fight, and both of them got shut down. That's unfortunate. It looks like this fatty here just sitting there, problems with the shield. That's what happens when you get nuked, and this chicken coming up on this fatty. This fatty's got to run away. Doesn't look like it's running away. This is going to be bad. So the chicken walks back in the water. I can see here Lucian is making his way back to his base. Actually, these yeah, he's just making T3 mass extractors right away with his ACU. So we'll see what kind of advantage Black Judge can take from this game. He does have a nuke. That was 158 kills, and another one nearly completed as well. So at this point it's going to be very difficult for Lucian. Another good target, I guess, for this would be a great target. Actually, we see quite a bit of power here. It looks like Lucian was able to make these very quickly. But this would be a great target for the second nuke from Black Judge. He may also nuke one of these islands, but that's not nearly as good a target. And the Navy for Lucian continues to move through. That was an attempt at a Navy here from Black Judge. Is going to be killed. And another ASF fight. And really no more production of ASF for Lucian, so he's in quite a bit of trouble in terms of air. He does have an air factory, not getting a shield. There's no anti-nuke here, so this is pretty futile what Lucian's doing. He is getting he got an anti-nuke here with his ACU, so he actually did the smart thing, separated the main base and the anti-nuke, so that even if this gets nuked, he'll still have a chance afterwards. This nuke has been completed, so Black Judge can fire it anytime he wants. Now we see Navy versus torpedo bombers.
That was not very successful from that torpedo bomber. And here come the Othams. This is Othams versus Perseus. And 4v2, the Perseus are feeling the pain there. Didn't take any losses, 2 losses for the Othams. And the Othams are rolling through. We see a bunch of PDs being constructed by Lucian. Try to protect. The Othams have split. Some scouting for blackjudge over Lucian's base. So we'll see where blackjudge chooses to nuke. Probably the anti-nuke would be the better target, a little more demoralizing, because as soon as that gets completed, you cannot nuke this area anymore. It's very strange that the nuke still has not been fired. See some Perseus here on this other island, and it looks like they're not moving, but they're definitely killing. And this is amazing. It looks like blackjudge led Lucian back into the game by not firing his nuke. And this is going to be very even once again, because blackjudge doesn't really have too much at the base, too much of the map. And most likely what happened is he saw this anti-nuke and he didn't realize it wasn't loaded. He decided not to take the chance, and now sending some bombers, but that was a total failure. They didn't even get the shield halfway down. So pretty big trouble for blackjudge here at 1 hour. See a fatty trying to harass the main base, maybe take out the nuke. And a chicken versus a navy. Chicken's gonna win. Once again, these Perseus versus Othams. These Othams are extremely good. This island is gonna fall. See the drop now coming in. Looks like it's a bunch of Perseus. Lucian rebuilt his base very quickly after that nuke. It looks like the remains of blackjudge's navy are going to be destroyed. See destroyers here versus cruisers. A whole bunch of Perseus on the ocean floor making their way across. That's going to be pretty devastating. If you get enough Perseus, you can take on a chicken. It looks like a drop coming in from blackjudge along the edge of the map. Here comes the nuke. Where did he launch that? Oh, he took out the Tech 3 land factory. That was a very expensive way to take that out. Given that he had a chicken in the area, he could have just walked over there, but I guess these Perseus were enough of a nuisance. The Perseus are going to make their way out of the water, and you got to get that chicken very quickly if you're a blackjudge, otherwise you don't have too much counter to these, given that the chicken has walked away. And it looks like Lucian will be in a very good position. Also got a ACU shield, so now he's very difficult to kill. Omni, we gotta remember there was a transport here somewhere. Looks like the transport was shut out of the air by Lucian. Here come the Perseus. We got 8 of them. And some Othams coming out. Yeah, these Othams might be enough to give blackjudge some time, but now they're running back into the ocean. This is the main base. That chicken was built extremely fast from blackjudge. And this chicken will be able to deal with those, although a couple of mass extractors will be lost to those Perseus. See another fatty here. Now this chicken actually making it pretty deep into Lucian's base. It is taking on a couple fatties. There's one in the water, is going to come out of the water. You see some T3PD. Actually, this T3PD is very good. It's able to shoot off this hill. And that was a dead chicken. So good work from Lucian. Both players defending very well. And you can see that chicken here chased away a whole bunch of dead Perseus all over the place.
Actually, it looks like 3 of them survived. They split off. You know, 2 fatties moving out for Lucian at the main base, and a nice chunk of mass. And it's not really clear who has any of these islands. This one now belongs to Blackjudge. The rest are pretty much contested. That's pretty nice air spam here from Seraphim. Plenty of T3. It looks like this nuke is no longer producing nukes. It's just got one loaded. And now we got Perseus versus Othams again. Perseus causing damage. Here comes a fatty. That's one disadvantage for UEF, is that they don't have a unit like the chicken that they can support. They have this fatty, which is pretty fragile. Now we're going to have an air fight. Looks like these broadswords are in quite a bit of trouble. And actually probably much bigger losses there for Blackjudge, who runs back. Some more transports. And this chicken here that killed those fatties is still on the move, as well as some Othams. And yet another chicken here from Blackjudge. Now a battleship for Lucian. Surprisingly, he's not getting the smash yet. So 2 fatties and a chicken on an island, but doesn't look like they're gonna meet. Or perhaps they will. A satellite from Lucian. This is ridiculous. I didn't realize this was that type of game. But Lucian is making a satellite. Probably the only time I ever will see this unit again. It's very expensive for what it does. You basically launch one of these, and you have this thing up in the sky. I can go anywhere. You can't shoot it down. I think it just went past us. Yeah, it's way up there. Or where is it? It's at this altitude. Now it's making its way across. I guess it would be pretty effective on these islands that you cannot protect. Yeah, and it can fire a beam from way up there. Should be able to see it from far away. Now I just got lost. So Blackjudge here needs big plans. So far he's just making ASF, and he's got a fatty coming in. There's a chicken, which is in a little bit of trouble. That's going to chase the fatty back underwater. Big trouble for the fatty, but he gets into the water just in time. Oh yeah, this is satellite, some Perseus, and some fatties coming in as well. And now it appears that Blackjudge only is going to have one island. Lucian should shortly have all other 5. 2 experimentals in the water. Can't shoot each other. Actually, there are some torpedoes. Did not realize there are torpedoes on the fatty, but there are. And a nuke from Blackjudge. It's been a very long game. That's not what I expected. That's amazing. He just takes out half that Air Force. That was awesome. That was all these dead planes that just fell out of the sky. And that will give a big advantage to blackjudge. He's not going to move out, kill the rest of Lushan's air force. We see Lushan has switched to some gunships. And this is going to be big trouble. Now we're seeing a fatty versus torpedo bombers. No more air protection for Lushan's experimentals, except of course the satellite, which is going to be here till the end of the game. But total air domination now for blackjudge. So yet another turn in this game. Now we see this fatty moving in, but no longer air protection, so it's in big trouble. He's got to just get in the water and hide. Now we're seeing cruisers getting killed. Very surprising, Lushan just didn't make a massive UEF shield navy here. Totally dominate air for him no matter what. The fatties still doing their thing. And some riptides. It appears we're another chicken. Blackjudge getting another T3 air factory and actually getting a quantum gateway. He's going to get a bunch of support commanders. So these are going to be interesting. These you can put special abilities on. You can make these teleport, put overcharges on them. Make them very good builders. And this battleship from Lushan could be in quite a bit of trouble with absolutely no air protection. A very tragic life for this battleship. And now shields coming out, multiple shields for Lushan. Probably should take it easy with that battleship, bring him home. See a whole bunch of torpedo bombers ready for blackjudge. Some more drops. Oh, that was devastating. These are excellent. This fatty just built T3 engineers. Now they made a stealth field with a whole bunch of T3 anti-air. So it's like a secret anti-air base here for Lushan. There goes the battleship, getting hit by torpedoes. But here comes the shield from Lushan. Give the battleship just a little more time. See the satellite now with 9 kills. Really not that effective, but it's completely invulnerable. Anything that doesn't have a shield is going to get killed. Another fatty gets chased back into the water. This island is completely empty except for one Tech 1 mass extractor here at 1 hour 23 minutes. Another island very much beat up. A couple of Perseus with a whole bunch of kills. However, a secret base here with actually T3 PD now. These engineers have been doing a very good job. Actually got himself a little more build capacity as well. This fatty's going to try to retreat to the shield. This chicken might ruin the fun here, however, it kills that fatty very quickly. There's only a couple T3 PDs. And you can see this chicken is very devastating with those orbs. Yeah, that was a good base from Lushan for how long it lasted. Now this chicken ends that fun. Now these chickens are very powerful given the air superiority. And a very quick engineer now is going to pick up all this mass. These fatties versus chicken or Perseus. This one actually got behind. Chicken catch shoot backwards. It'll be an interesting story for this. Oh, never mind. It just turned around. And some transports now from Lushan. T3 transports looks like full of Perseus. This could be very devastating. That was a good move from Lushan, but looks like blackjudge just came back. That was a very good move from blackjudge. We are seeing fatties, and now here come the transports. Not clear what happened there. How these are able to drop off 12 Perseus at blackjudge's base. That's an amazing thing to happen, given that blackjudge just won air. The medal completely belongs to Lushan. He's making T3 anti-air in the middle of the ocean. And now once again, Perseus have already been there. Oh, that was devastating. That was a whole bunch of strat bombers. doing their thing. It's 3 dead Perseus. Authams versus Perseus. That was a nice drop, but not quite good enough against such an advanced base here. We are seeing a chicken. We're seeing some support units here. Looks like it's in the middle of an upgrade. These fatties took care of a chicken here a long time ago. Now we have Perseus just walking on underwater and on land here, trying to get across. This is one thing that the satellite's good for. Any kind of unprotected NGs anywhere on the map get killed. The SS map continues. Another nuke is being built. It's 298 kills for that weapon so far in this game. Here in 1 hour 30 minutes. The area has completely belonged to blackjudge for a while now, but now you might have a close fight. Not clear why blackjudge decided to do this to his air. Getting shot for no reason. Yeah, this could be trouble. Yeah, and all these T3 anti-air from the ground are going to cause damage. These cruisers still alive, but they're going to get taken out. That's going to be a whole bunch of transports for a massive drop. This satellite makes its way around the map pretty quick. Yeah, I just spotted some more NGs on the loose. It flies above the planes. So probably in a map like this, satellite's actually viable if you want to pay that much money for it. It is probably better than a fatty. Quite a bit more expensive, however. That was a whole bunch of torpedo bombers flying into take 3 anti-air. And you can see Lushan's base getting pretty large. It's a pretty massive air spam. 4 Tech 3 air factories, a whole bunch of T3 power. Here's the satellite and a separate air factory for gunships. A whole bunch of hives everywhere, and fatty being constructed. Lushan's ACU with a shield. It'll be very hard to break this base if you're a blackjudge. He does have 1 nuke loaded now. However, we do see these support commanders. Looks like this support commander just has the shield, and it just teleported. Yeah, we just saw that thing teleport. So it so it's a teleporter, a very quick builder. You can see it just got itself a shield and Tech 1 PDs and just gonna start killing off. These are Tech 3 mass extractors from Lushan. It's actually an excellent weapon. What it's doing there is actually capturing these. That's a great job from blackjudge. Maybe a couple more of those would be nice. And more chickens coming out. It's going to be a chicken and Percy fight, but 2 chickens there are not going to have any problems. Now let's see if this support commander. Yeah, that was not a very good situation for the support commander. That's a lot of gunships. Where is the Air Force? That's what happens when you don't have air. It's a good move from blackjudge, but just not enough air. And now don't really see too many ways for blackjudge to come back. No chance at Navy air. He's eventually going to lose it because of this superior base here. And now battleship coming out for Lushan. And strat bombers and gunships. There's a lot of strat bombers here. Might see an air attack now. There's a lot of anti-air here for Black Judge, however. Looks like they're targeting the nuke. Seraphim anti-air, Tech 3 anti-air, extremely good against gunships. And I can see that nuke was saved. Really a futile attempt by Lucian. Support commanders from UEF as well. These are units you don't ever see. This is an amazing game. And yet another nuke launched. This is the fourth one from Black Judge. And he's going to try to do it again. That was awesome. 298 kills to 365. 67 airplanes with that bomb. Each one is about 450 mass. So that's a lot of mass. Satellite's back now. Looks like it's yet another satellite. Is there another satellite somewhere from that one had more kills? And there's really fatties all over this island here. And still Black Judge tries to drop it. And we're gonna see a lot of Authams together with the chicken try to assault this island protected by fatties or Percy's. And this support commander should start building. There's big trouble coming his way. And once again that nuke, this is the second time, killing off about half of Lucian's air, and Black Judge has a chance of capturing air once again. And this is actually turning interesting. I did not see a way back for Black Judge, but he just won air and he's pushing through with a very nice force here. Chickens with air support, and you see flak here, and a whole bunch of Authams. And this support commander's got to run. He's got to jump off this cliff because he's going to get killed. Too bad he can't jump off the cliff. Now air control above Lucian's base, and we are seeing Tech 3 already being constructed by Lucian. These can shoot across. And that was a whole bunch of strat bombers. Oh wow. Nearly kills this chicken. And actually does, but that was actually a pretty big loss of strat bombers. That was something like 15 of them. And this SF from Black Judge getting all the kills. Looks like the gunships are going to retreat, but a successful attack took the chicken, but the Authams still cleaned up. So this island no longer belongs to anyone. These Authams are going to continue to roll. There is a fatty here to stop them. And another attempt at a drop, and now here's another support commander from Lucian taking on some injuries with no problems. This air fight just continues to rage on, but this is what happens when you have such a good looking production. Even if you lose a whole bunch of your air to a nuke, you can recover very quickly. It's a bad situation. For a moment there I thought the Black Judge had a chance, but that was not true, and these gunships are just going to clean up. This Tech 3 stage, these are probably the best gunships outside the Restorer, which is no longer that good. This battleship with 5 kills. You can see it can bombard directly at Black Judge's base, pretty good distance. Actually hitting this chicken. And we do see this Artie here with 9 kills already. Firing straight across. Hitting some of these shields. These shields are excellent from Seraphim, but we do see this nuke has been taken out. Big loss for Black Judge. And the fatties are moving in as well. This chicken's got to move. Chicken is dying. You can see this already firing across. Excellent part of any base right here if you want to project your influence across the map. Yeah, the shells are hitting. The Seraphim shields can hold out the longest, but power problems seem to be a problem here. Now here come the gunships from Lucian, and these are deadly, especially with already hitting these shields. They're already weakened. Actually, they die very quickly. A few losses here for Blackjudge once again. Looks like actually this chicken, actually it's a different chicken, chase these fatties away. So this main base for Blackjudge extremely difficult to crack. Now we do have this battleship as well as satellite, Tech 3 arty, air domination. Not much that can be done. One hope are these, and actually this one's teleporting. See where it teleports to. If it teleports to Lucian's ACU, it's not clear where it teleported. Oh, there it is. That's a bad situation to be in. There's a whole bunch of satellites. Yeah, it teleported just so it could run into the water and get killed before it gets there. Unfortunate. So I guess in this game we did see a lot of different units that we usually don't. Like the satellite support commanders. Even the EF battleship, it's I guess in 603 this unit you see pretty often. Doing a good job though. Here's chicken versus Percy's. And the fatties now. These were cyber and shields, these would be dead a long time ago. Looks like Blackjudge getting some upgrades. It's most likely the repair upgrade, so that makes the ACU nearly impossible to kill. That's being hit by some something like an experimental. With this upgrade, it should be able to take on Percy's. Now we're seeing walls coming up for Blackjudge. Now, yes, this is definitely the repair. He's got Tech 3 gun and repair. Excellent overcharge. That's how you take care of Percy's. Extremely strong ACU now. This looks like a very powerful nuke here, an experimental nuke. If we actually get to see that, that would be ridiculous. And here come the... This is pretty amazing. The gunships from Lucian targeting Blackjudge's ACU. They didn't realize how strong it was. They still knocked him down quite a bit, but it's still alive. And this is just getting ridiculous. Serious damage from these Percy's. Excellent overcharge. And it doesn't look like Blackjudge is going to be dying. Well, no, once that fatty came out from the back. But that was a good way to go out. Took a lot of good units with him. A very long game. Hopefully people enjoyed it.